Adam. How you going, bud?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Did you want me to create a game?
On TTS?
Yeah.
If I can, I don't mind either way.
Well, whatever's easy for you streaming. I don't really care.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, cool. We'll I've just created one. So
Righto.
potato 1, 2, 3. I got pretty good. I got like 100 down and 25 up in internet, so it should be okay.
Big dick swinging over here.
Oh, no, it's more for work.
That's fair. All right. Message me the deets. I'm guessing it's the usual stuff. Is the game up?
Yeah, I got it up. Oh, it's up, man. Potato 1, 2, 3. Yep. Danny, you there?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
That was a very nice thing you wrote in the C4 announcements channel. There wasn't any sledging. There was nothing, mate. I'm about to post mine.
Okay. So we are live. So feel free to start calling each other names.
What's going on? What's going on, Nick? You survived CanCon, all right?
I did.
So was that your first CanCon?
It was.
Crazy.
I had a great time.
I had a good time too. I think that night, it wasn't too big of a night. Like we didn't like it was. They were all home by like 1:30. All in bedding booths by 1:30.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
But I had a great time.
Some of us were in bed by 1 o'clock. I think you guys kept playing League of Legends or something at like 2 o'clock.
No. Jack played League of Legends until like 2 o'clock. I crashed. All right. Okay. So on stream, I've got a magical wheel of maps.
Cool.
From all of the season 9 Invader League maps, or the Invader League 9 map pack.
Yep. Awesome.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 different maps, which was actually kind of crazy.
That's cool. I think like one of them is the same as the other one, just without any of the detail.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I figured that out. I'm not as dumb as I look.
Thank God.
Yeah. All right. I guess we may as well spin the wheel.
please don't be a bad one.
Do you know the bad ones?
Oh, I just know if there's going to be lots of buildings, I'm going to be screwed.
One with the most terrain. Like the most terrain that we're looking for here.
No. Least terrain.
Alright. And we will spin the wheel of maps.
Preferably if it's a map with just like
Come
a
on.
single barricade in the
Come
middle.
on.
That'd be great.
As per the rules, as per the CRB, you can now
Yep.
have that.
We have
There you go.
chosen Tatooine.
Ooh,
Okay.
I've heard of that place.
It's got lots of sand.
It's got sandy, Adam.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Extra sand. Love it.
Hate sand.
When does your channel go live, Penguin?
Oh, it's live now.
Okay. On Twitch?
YouTube.
Ah. I was gonna just see I was trying to see what the wheel looked like.
It's just a wheel with colors and names.
Oh, the famous wheel.
Yeah, the wheelofnames.com.
What are those names?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you joined to find the map, or are you doing that?
Oh, yeah, I can't place objects.
All right. I'll jump in and grab Tatooine. Daniel, don't worry, mate. It's gonna be Tatooine. I promise.
It's a modified Tatooine.
Yeah. I'm just quickly doing it up. Oh wow, look at all these buildings. Tatooine. Alright, Tatooine. I don't even know what it looks like. Let's bring it in. Maps. Loading. Alright, Dan, so I believe you have the bit on it. This is perfect. This is a good voice. This is good.
This is
Well
a
done,
terrible
Penguin.
map.
Nah,
No.
good work, mate.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Mm.
Bloody cruiser. Wreck ship.
Oh dear.
Excellent. Well picked, Nick. Yep, $20
Oh.
See you later on, mate. Don't you worry about it.
No worries.
So Daniel, you're blue player.
Yeah.
Are you choosing to remain blue player, or are you going to choose side?
Oh, I don't know if it matters on this map. Oh.
Alright. We might leave you two to it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get out of the channel.
We'll jump down.
Okay.
Anyway, just
Oh, we didn't even get to say good luck.
Oh, right, I see. Okay, so they go to their own chat now. Is that how
Yeah.
that works?
I guess so. I'm not a professional.
You see what I mean? I have no idea. I was like, I don't know how this works. Okay, now I'm starting to get a handle on it. Okay, they go to their own chat, do their own thing. All right, sweet.
And we're gonna talk shit.
And we talk shit about them. Fantastic. This is an interesting map. This will
It
make
is.
this will make for a game.
It definitely makes it hard for
It is. This will make
for Dan.
It definitely makes it hard.
Okay, flippy the mappy.
And what is nice is I've made all like the overlays and stuff that Dan is blue, and he's kept it blue, so I don't have to go around changing everything.
Good work, Dan. Well organized.
Yeah. I asked him before while I was making them all, and he's like, "I'm probably going to be blue, unless the map is completely wild."
I don't think there's anything too weird on this map. We've got light area terrain, scrap piles, that stuff's all fine.
Yeah.
What are little cars? Oh, the little cars are only light. Oh, that's a... okay. So you got like two really big line of sight blockers.
Yeah.
In the middle, like in this middle line kind of thing. And then dim-witted banter. Love that.
That is cool.
But yeah, this is probably a better map with the new rules. Like, you
Since
kind
you
of need a
can-
map that's... I mean, like more generous with the cover allocations, because I could see, like with the old rules, the old find the magic line where you go past the terrain kind of thing. I could see a lot of that happening on this particular map. So
Yeah, for sure.
And-
But like
and
nowadays, since the new silhouette rules, it's just like, yeah, basically a lot of the time everything gets cover.
That's what I mean. And these buildings being a little more accessible is nice as well. Like, oh, they just flipped. Okay. So yeah, there's people being able to use the buildings will be really cool too.
Yeah. Like being able to tack strike on, like moving speed 1 up onto a building. That's happened to me before, and it's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
It's like thinking you're safe behind a line of sight blocker, but it's only height 1. They can tack strike speed 1 up onto a building and be like, yeah, nah, see you later, bud.
Oh, look, we've got a flop. What do we got? We got recover, intercept, stabs, payload. Okay, so realistically, I guess we come back to the lists, but realistically, if I'm running a bunch of pikes and B2s, I'm basically just running a gun line here, aren't I? Like there's no
Dan's basically running a gun line.
Yeah.
You do not want to get into. You want to stay out of range 2 from those B2s or range 2 to 3 as much as possible.
I mean, intercept seems fine for both of them. Probably, maybe that might even help. That might help Adam a little bit because the B2 is a bit more close range. He wants to get in there.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't want VAPs. So they got rid of.
Why doesn't he want VAPs?
VAPs is really neutral when you think about it. Like, I mean, I know there's that possibility that the person with the lowest bid or whatever. I don't think that's an issue. Well, okay, that was super quick. So we got to pass on the second one.
Yeah. So intercept, rollout, and clear.
The only advantage of VAPs for Adam would have been like if B2s can cross the table and go touch an enemy VAP, but that's not super easy to do.
No.
So I think intercept is probably it's probably the most active. I think this is a good one for Adam, so we'll see how that one actually plays out. I wonder why Dan didn't kill it with his second choice, but rollout seems fine. That's just gunline time. Everybody loves a good gunline. It's going to be a slow start. That's okay.
I don't like slow starts.
Yeah, well, there's not going to be a lot in turn 1. I mean, you think about it. I don't think Adam has anything that will reach the enemy in turn 1. Unless Dan is very, very, very aggressive, which I don't think he's going to be.
I highly doubt that.
So I'd assume turn 1 will be probably a bombard, maybe, and probably Dan doing some sniping.
Yeah.
And that'll be about that. So,
Righto. May as well go through the lists. So we got Dan with Arden and the range 5 gun. Got Boba with emergency transponders and the flame. 2 shore troopers with the head T21B and an Imperial officer. 2 mortar troopers, Inferno squad. 2 strike teams and a stormtrooper with a DLT and a medical droid.
Yep. Do you want some insights into this list from somebody who got smashed by it?
Absolutely.
It's quite good. Like obviously we've seen versions of this Iden Boba list for a fair while. Remember our nationals last year in October up in Queensland were 2 Iden lists in the grand finals. One was Pike Iden, one of them was Boba Iden. One of them had bikes, one of them didn't. You get the idea. And then of course, in our qualifier, we had 2 Iden lists in the final 5 undefeated players kind of thing, and obviously one of them made the grand final. So it's a pretty tried and tested formula. So I think like the Iden bit is pretty straightforward. The Boba bit is pretty straightforward. I think the emergency transponder is a little bit cute. But so you go.
It just maybe for an extra aim, like he gets independent aim or dodge, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. And
So-
it's just
Yeah. So maybe
And I
on
think-
that turn where you take a dodge and you actually turns out you need an aim, that transponder it will be nice.
Well, I know most of Dan's command cards because he sort of used them against me. So I know he doesn't have Boba Rocket. He's got Tack Strike and he's got Boba's Rule with Respect. So I'd probably on the Tack Strike turn, I guess you might see you might see an emergency transponder there because he can't have an order that turn.
Yep.
I know the other one he likes to do is on that Boba 1 pip. He puts the order on somebody else, and then that gives Boba the extra range and marksman. So that's the other time when he probably uses that one.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the T21 Shores are pretty straightforward. The officers are quite cute. Like, obviously, with the new rules, suppression is more of a thing. So he's got the courage. He's got 2 different ways to remove suppression. So that's actually quite cool. Mortars are pretty straightforward, I think. And
Mortars are good.
Yep, absolutely. And Inferno is straightforward. The snipers, again, like because that tack strike lets you do Iden plus 3 special forces, you can see, the 3 squads here going off, and and I think I was wondering, like I saw the Stormtrooper with the med droid, and I'm like, that's probably the most random part of this list for me. But what it does, because he's got the DLT there, and because he's got rule with respect, he can get a 3 dice. He can do a 3 dice range 4 shot, so that's pretty cool. And I think that med boy is just there. I mean, again, Boba can get unlucky, but mostly for the sniper teams. New rules make snipers a little more vulnerable. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. They're a little more vulnerable, so I think he'll get a lot of value out of that one little med boy. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's certainly what he did against me, and it was very, very effective. It was a lot of guns, and I did not have a lot of answers for it. So I'm going to be really curious to see if these B2s, a little more pressure, can cross that board a little more effectively than I could. So
yeah, very good. So speaking of B2s, may as well go through Adam's list.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Kalani with lead by example. Speaking about that, inspire suppression removal. Pike Capo with vigilance. 2 Pike squads with the disruptor rifle and the Capo. And then 3 B2s with the B2 Harch and the T series. 1 B1 with a HQ uplink, and 1 squad of Magna Guards with the whip, tenacity, situational awareness, and emergency transponders. Only 9 acts, which I think is fine now in the new pass mechanic era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 9 versus 10, it's not really even a big deal, is it, these days?
No.
And you can't say Adam's a meta chaser. He was playing B2s way before they were cool.
Absolutely.
But obviously, very much doubling down on the power of the Ha, the good old blast rocket that will get around these new rules where everybody has heavy cover all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely going to be a thing that he can capitalize on. And again, you can see that one little repair bot there. I'm not super sure what his obvious targets are for here. I mean, you could just, if you lose a B2, you can bring 1 back, obviously, or a Magna Guard, but I don't know if, which one he'll prioritize there, just kind of go where he needs to go kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious cool things with this list, the super tack is going to be kind of clutch because he's going to have that 3 pip that lets him refresh 2 of the B2 rockets, so he can walk up, lob off a rocket with the T series at range 3, so that's a fair chunk of damage. And then of course it's got cycle, but then next turn he plays that 3 pip, refreshes 2 of them, and he gets another big blast. So in Legion, it's often about getting the damage in before your opponent can do the damage to you, so that will definitely let you front load the damage a little bit. The Pikes can just kind of look after themselves. The Vigilance obviously means he's going to have a few dodges stacked up ready for turn 2, so a nothing turn 1 is actually working in Adam's favor here, because that'll mean he'll start turn 2 with a million dodges, and we'll be very excited about that. And then of course, HQ uplink must just be, what did we say he had down here? He had Kraken, didn't he?
Yeah, Kraken. So no direct.
Yeah, so he's not getting the direct. So it's we're having an interesting discussion about this the other day, whether you go Kraken or Kaylani. Kraken's a melee threat. I mean, the override doesn't really matter in this particular list. He's a melee threat. He's a shooting threat. And Kaylani's obviously
the only AI units apart from the only AI units that are the B1s and the Magna Guard.
Yeah.
The rest.
So.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, given that he's not giving out any orders, I wonder if the HQ uplink might just be to clear the pool up a little bit. If he just goes HQ uplink, and relay that over to maybe to the Kraken, or maybe not to the Kraken, maybe to the. He's only got 1 special forces, so if he relays from the B1s to the special forces, maybe takes that out of the pool. So all he's got in the bag is core and HQ. That's a pretty neat pool. And it wouldn't take much to get those 2 HQs out of there as well. But I guess you want independent, so that will be interesting to see how that one plays out. But it's a lot of beef. Like,
It is.
looking at it, so between the pikes and the dodges and the freebies.
And the armor 1 from the B2s, and
Yep.
like, especially since they'll get heavy cover all the time, it's basically cancelling 3 hits all the time.
Yep. And obviously the free dodge if he wants it on the Magna Guard as well.
Yeah.
And I know that or at least one of the opponents he played against on the weekend was talking about that whip tenacity combo being very powerful because he can hit something out of combat, so he can sort of finish off a little squad nearby kind of thing with the old whip. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of whip, but I'll be really interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I can see Curtis going off in the chat.
Yeah. I mean,
Not a fan of the old B2s, Curtis. Sorry to hear that, my friend.
Adam has definitely touched me in some bad places with these B2s before. It's he knows how to run them well, or maybe it was more that I didn't fully understand what was about to happen to me, and when I decided to charge into them, which
yeah. I think we could definitely expect to see a lot more of them on the table at the moment. Going forward, that blast is going to be super cool. So
yeah,
we will see. Mine are actually sitting on my shelf. They have been undercoated.
Woohoo!
That's more than they've been in the last probably 2 years. So that shows you my increasing faith in them.
Yeah.
No, they are not what they are in the movies. You are right, Curtis. Or in the computer game. If you remember the old the Republic Commando, B2s were very, very scary in Republic Commando, and not quite so scary in this particular game. So
I did not play that one. Might have been before my time.
Oh well, I mean, I am old, just do it. But it is a fantastic game. I thoroughly recommend anybody to grab that one. It's probably one of those good old game things. No, it's outstanding. Honestly, it's one of the best games I've ever played. So, and that's a big statement for me.
You're right.
Who was asking? Curtis was asking about the old fire support. I mean, yeah, absolutely fire support with the mortars. If you can pull it off, that'll be good because, like you said, more dice, especially on the B2s, for example, where you need to get through cover 2 realistically and then armor 1. So you can do that with crits or you can do that with big dice pools, but anything else isn't going to work. So given it's an Iden list, fire support would definitely be a possibility. I think the biggest challenge with that will be actually getting face-ups onto them. So realistically, rule with respect, he can do it pretty easily. And with Tax Strike, for example, he can do it because you put a token on the Special Forces, and then who is it? It's good old Gideon Hask there can pass one on. Yeah. So there's definitely a few opportunities, but there's not a lot because Bobo is going to eat those order tokens a lot. So we'll see how that plays out, I guess.
Did Dan bring Iden's 2-pip, the blast one?
I can't remember. In my game, it didn't come up. In my game, he played Boba's 2-pip, the old blender attack.
Yep.
And that was very, very, very painful. And he played both of Boba's 1-pips. So the 2-pip slot was the only card I didn't see. So he could have Iden's one.
Yeah.
I'm not super sure. No Curtis, no HQ on the shores. That's expensive tech. I think it's basically the officer or the... You can have an officer or you can have a HQ, and I think he's gone for the extra body there. So, which I don't know. They're more mobile with the officer, I guess. So that's a thing.
Yeah. I just looked up the list, and no, it's just push.
Okay. And see, that's interesting as well. When you can't put push onto Boba, obviously, because he's a mercenary. So if he does that, I guess that would just be for some order control, maybe. Maybe that's how he gets another order on the shores. So
yeah, maybe that turn sets up some nice fire supports for both orders.
Absolutely. So this is an unsurprising deployment from Dan so far. Looking at that, it's just I'm going to put all of my guns as close to you as possible.
Yeah. And it's looks like some pikes are going to do some flanking on Adam's side.
Okay.
Hiding behind this big old wreck ship.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, I guess, because you can sort of see the B2s are going to advance to that big ass building in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if with the new climb rules, I mean, that building is not ideal for this, right? But I do wonder if you'll even climb on top of it with the B2s. Like, I'm not super sure on the legality of that, like how that would work with this weird little,
You got to be sitting flat. If it fits, it sits kind of thing.
Yeah, and if it can't sit flat and if it can't overlap, maybe you can't do a lot with the top of that building. So
yeah,
it's kind of got a funny little pimple thing in the top of it here. So. But otherwise, that would be a godly position, wouldn't it? Just sit there and just rain hellfire down from on top. So
it would be getting heavy cover no matter what. Yeah, absolutely gross.
We could see Adam do the whole the sneaky one with the B2s where you put the T series and the heavy weapon around the corner of that building, for example. Just sort of park it around the corner where that little car is, and they just lob it off from there while the others stay hidden behind. Yep. Wouldn't be super easy for Dan to get an angle to see more than just those guys there, so he can certainly limit the return fire if he wants to be a little cheeky like that.
Yeah, and I guess that limits the amount of wounds that Dan can actually do to him.
It does, and because the TC has only got one wound, he can only do 3 wounds
only
total.
Max of 3. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely a little bit of shenanigan you can do with the old B2s if the table allows it, which this one might do. Man, look at all those B2s going down. That is so much meat.
Yeah. And these B1s over here, the yellow B1s, are just going to be objective grabbers by the looks of it.
Yeah. Based on the position of that crack, and maybe we won't be seeing a bombard turn 1. I'll be curious if they just kind of both go, standing orders turn 1 and just try to delay and faff around as long as possible.
Yeah. Out of the two, I think the delaying tactic will probably work better for Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I was going with that. Yep.
Well, I'm curious to see, if you're Adam, you could bombard turn 1 if you wanted to, and then just pass, because you've got a 2-pip. If Dan plays standing orders, you can just go straight from there, and just pass immediately. But obviously, are you going to do anything now? See, what's interesting here, I think, is that Dan actually put those blue snipers are actually very visible. Adam could have potentially just popped his Kalani up on that building there and just gone blat, turn 1, dead sniper team, but maybe he didn't see that one. So these are all the things I'm going to point out to him, so that when he watches this, he can be like, "Damn it! I wish I'd seen that."
Yeah.
Up.
Tax strike.
Wasn't a standing. Tax strike. That is okay. That is going to be a long-range tax strike.
Yeah.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. So he's going to get a bunch of sniper shots here, obviously, but can't imagine
what else though? No.
Yeah, I can't imagine a lot else. I can't actually measure.
Yeah.
But I'm going. But those mortars don't even necessarily have to get a shot. There's no reason why you have to advance into range of that. So. I wonder if maybe that's just Dan's order control, if that's part of the reason why he's doing that. So,
but does he really need the order control this turn?
I mean, I wouldn't have thought he would tax strike with them this far away from each other. I would have thought he would sit on his hands for a turn and do it probably even next turn.
Yeah.
Which means he's probably going to do rule with respect next turn and go from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was more expecting either a neutral standing, like a standing orders, or maybe even a if he's got it. No, he doesn't have an Iden 1 pip. I was just thinking about her sniper, but so yeah, I'll be interested to see how much damage this actually can do. because it's a big card, that one. So
I mean, I guess you got some range 5 from what's his face on Inferno.
yeah, he definitely does. He's got range 5 on at least those guys plus Iden. So he's got 2 sniper teams plus Inferno plus Iden. That's not nothing. That's all going to do damage that will go straight through.
Yeah.
In this case, I guess he's looking for those would be light cover shots he'd be looking at there, because he can avoid the building.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a thing that he's doing.
So that is. I didn't really see what was happening there.
I'm pretty sure that was Iden, and that's a pretty that's a pretty sad Iden shot. Because she would have got the aim for moving, and then I'm pretty sure all she did was like a little
marksman up to crit.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's not a great way to start.
I need to remember how to do the. Oh. It's been so long since I've streamed. I forgot. I only just remembered how to set up the dice roller on the overlay. You got to do like some weird.
Oh, the little mini screen within
the
screen.
Mini
thingy.
screen on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, I got no idea about that sort of tech. That's totally beyond my skills. And it's not very hard because I have 0 skills. You know, I remember I've heard commentators sort of doing this sort of thing, and they get confused because obviously we can't hear the player talk and whatever. So, and I'm sitting there going, why is there in front of those yellow B1s? Why is there a HQ command token? I'm like, why is there a command token sitting in front of those B1s? It's like,
yeah, that's a very good question. Oh, there's a capo under the stairs.
All right. Oh, that makes so much more sense now. Righto.
You just gotta search for it a little bit.
Yeah, it makes more sense now. So obviously he didn't trigger the HQ uplink because he only had. I mean, by the looks of it, he's just had the special forces.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of going from there. So.
Are you drinking tonight at all?
Actually, I am a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got a little bit of cider going on the downside here, but I do actually have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, back to reality. This is very sad.
Yeah. Me too. It is sad. I don't think Jack was saying he's drinking some Guinness in honor of the Irish pub we went to.
That was a good little pub.
It was great. It was really, really nice. I liked the outside area compared
Raising
to
a Japanese. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So I was just reading the comment. I say raising a Japanese vodka for C4. Like, you know, everybody knows all the best vodka comes from Japan. So
yeah, of course.
But yeah, we strongly recommend that little pub for CanCon next year.
Yeah.
Since we couldn't get our other spot.
And you can buy what's called a hurricane from there, which is what we ended up drinking a lot of towards the end of the night.
What is that? What is in a hurricane?
So James Squire alcoholic ginger beer,
Right.
mixed with Kraken spiced rum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a classic rum and ginger beer, dark and stormy, but with alcoholic ginger beer instead.
That is kind of cool. That just gives it a little more kick. Very nice.
Yeah. And it's a drink that I've been making myself for a while now. With exactly the same, so with the exact James Squire ginger beers and the Kraken rum.
And the old beer towers were flowing as well, although they weren't quite as impressive as I thought they were going to be. Like,
yeah,
you know, I thought it was going to be this huge thing, like this giant bloody spaceship in the middle, but it was more like the land speeder.
So it looks like Dan Sniper got a nice crit in.
Nice. Yep. Just pick it away.
I mean, that's all they really need to do.
That's it. And of course, that repair bot's already gone, so that damage is sticking now.
Because you can only repair on damage that happened that turn, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So once you're dead for the end of the turn, you are dead forever. So I'm guessing. So it looks like Dan's sort of
There's-
scooting backwards with his tax strikey, so he's not leaving himself out there. Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And you can see Adam just, subsuming this little building here. This is going to be his little bunker. And he's going to pop out and start launching rockets at everybody next turn very quickly.
Yeah. So I guess what Dan is allowing Adam to do is take that space. So do you reckon?
I think it's a lot. It's not a lot you can do. Look at it.
No.
Like that was.
There's not. Like it was always going to happen. It's just a matter of trying to mitigate the damage when you want to dive in for those intercept points.
And like I said, it'll be super interesting to see which way he goes. Yes, Curtis, that's exactly what he did. He tried to do a tack strike to chip off a little bit of damage, and he has done it. He's killed a B1, and a little bit of something somewhere else. And yeah, I'll be interested to see the range on that center intercept point because, like, obviously, Adam's going to have to go one side of this building or the other. And he kind of looks like he wants to go to the Bantha side. So I'm interested to see if 6 inches from that little dish probably goes a fair way over that wall. So he might be able to find a sweet spot there.
Might be able to hide behind that wall, get a couple of unit leaders behind there.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he'll put the unit leaders in front of the wall and the rest of the dudes behind the wall, and he'll just blast away from the best possible cover he can get. So
yeah.
Okay, pass. Yep, that's good.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
No worries.
That's actually brilliant. I love that.
That's great.
Needs to be a little. It needs to be like something for the streamers. But that will do in the interim.
So it does look like one of the mortars had dodged standby.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's the same thing for the other one.
I don't imagine there'd be a lot else going on like this turn. I could imagine just more, double advance from Adam's side of things, just to hug the hell out of the back of this building without exposing himself in any way. You could pretty much see everything here kind of doing that. It will be interesting to see what the tack strike Kraken does next turn, because again, like if he's gonna start launching rockets next turn, then you'd assume he will get the 3-pip with the refresh in turn 3. That would make sense, but that doesn't tell us what he's gonna do in turn 2. So maybe he'll bombard, maybe he'll. No.
What will what's that? The bombard card again? Is it 4 black or something?
2 reds, 2 black, and of course Kraken is
Sharpshooter 2.
Kraken is Sharpshooter 2, so that's beautiful. Pretty sure Kraken surges to something as well.
Surges
so
to crit, I think. By memory. Yeah, he does.
So I'm used to firing it off from the old T series, so Kraken is a much more effective platform to fire it off from.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, all units with any type of sharpshooter 1 and 2 got a wicked increase of value.
Absolutely.
I guess that includes Imperial Boba. Sharpshooter 2. It already makes him better.
Just what he needed to be better.
Yeah.
Like, he was already pretty good. Now they gave him a bunch of new command cards, and then he's even better. And then the rules changed, and it's like, wow, he's better again. That's great.
Woohoo!
So good.
Yeah.
Gonna see him in literally 100% of Imperial lists going forward.
That 100% of Imperial lists that isn't Blizzard Force.
Well, that is true. And we're all praying for a nerf to Blizzard Force. So.
Yeah. What do you think needs to happen to make it not as good?
You know what? I couldn't tell you. I've had so many different, and like lots of people talking about this, and I've heard lots of different ideas. I think some of the ideas that I liked. I think one idea was to move the heavy response unit into the support slot, I thought that's a cool idea because obviously at the moment they're counting as free core, which so you're just taking 2 naked, flamer units or snow units and then filling it up with actual things you care about. So moving it to support would certainly be nice. Maybe those HRUs need a little points bump as well. Some people have said 5, some people have said 10. I don't know what the right answer to that one is.
No.
And then I think that
if they overshoot it too much, they just won't be taken at all.
Exactly, yeah. So I feel like that the shifting to the support is perhaps an even more elegant sort of. And it wouldn't even have to be support. You could make them special forces. Like it doesn't have to knock out the E-webs and the bikes to have an impact. It just has to not be core.
It's funny you said E-webs. It's probably just knocking out the bikes.
Well, I mean, the bikes are obviously really good, but again, the new rules making bikes much harder to get out of cover shots with will lower the value of the bikes a little bit. So I don't know if it's enough. E-web's obviously got a little buff with plotting. I don't know if it's enough, but I mean, it's something. So...
Did they get plotting?
Well, they always had plotting, remember, but now you can actually shoot and then move.
Right.
So I mean that's not amazing, but it's not complete trash. So maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely, I mean, obviously the bikes are a bit of a cornerstone, and I know one other suggestion was to get rid of Operative Vader and just have Commander Vader, and I thought, you know what, that's probably good. I'm not even super sure why Operative Vader would be in a thematic force based on Hoth.
He's not out Jedi hunting.
That's right.
Say?
He's very, very clearly commanding from a big ass Star Destroyer, so I'm pretty sure he's commanding. So that would be another thing because that would cost them, another chunk of points there. And to take the option to spam the officers and the free aims a little bit too. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think obviously the 2-pip is problematic as well. So probably got to get rid of a keyword on the 2-pip, whether that be, I mean, beam is the obvious one to scrap because it just goes, then it's just
blast
one
suppressive
big kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get rid of blast and have hits on 2 units, or you could just make it hit on 1 unit. So I don't know, some combination of those things, and then sort of see how we go after that. It will be interesting to see what they want to do there.
Like AMG have said that they are willing to do incremental updates now as well, which is a good sign. And it's just a matter of waiting and actually seeing what they do.
I mean, like you say, it's a print and play document. It's not like they can't do it. It would be very easy for them to just edit the PDF, change a few things, and sort of see how it goes. So, but I mean, there hasn't been a lot of data yet to suggest that Blizzard Force is actually super powerful. I heard they're at we've got LVO on the weekend, which is 128 players, 140 players, I think, 141 players, I think it is, and I think there are 21 Blizzard Force.
Far out.
I think it's about 40% Imperials or something like that overall in the field.
That's insane.
And basically half of those Imperials are Blizzard Force. So we'll get some data by the end of this weekend coming. Sure.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
The lists are up, so you can certainly have a look. But there is a lot of there's a lot of net listing Blizzard Force going on there because one of the top Americans did pretty well with Blizzard Force previously. So the internet doing as it does, people are now like, oh wow, what was that dude's list? Cut, paste, off you go.
It's not that easy.
No, he actually has some skill behind that as well, because there is certainly some nuance with the old Jedi, but I mean, at the end of the day, Darth is about as straightforward a Jedi as you can get. I mean, he's such a tank of a thing, so you can definitely be forgiven for doing a few things wrong with him. But
I actually haven't versed a lot of Vader. Probably the only Vader I remember playing is one that hopped in the lap. And
yeah, that one chopped my head off. I remember that one very well too.
I played, I think it was Alex. I played him on the Worlds qualifier, and it was not fun.
Is Alex the C4 guy? Because that was where I played that lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a learning game for me, and I'm really glad I didn't play it at Worlds because I learnt a lot getting my head chopped off very actively.
Yeah.
So I
That
dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, that was the same game that my Anakin Anakin was the last left alive in my whole army, and he ended up getting like 18 suppression.
Oh, it looked like Inferno just picked off a Magna Guard there. That stings.
That. Yeah, so with 2 aims, marksman, both of them up to crits. That's rough.
Nice, well done.
But yes, at the end of turn 5, my Anakin had like 18 suppression, and I was like, yeah, nah.
That's gross. That's so gross.
Like it was just all the shots, some heaps of suppression. It's just not fun.
Oh, that's so painful for those Magnas. They just came out of the. Oh, they were on the table. I was gonna say he got them 1 turn too late, so he loses a whole dude for his trouble. But that was a nice shot from the old Inferno. So, like I said, we said that the old the old Tack Strike turn 1 was an interesting choice, but I mean he's done some real damage here.
Yeah, I think the Tack Strike is a success. Realistically, like it's not like any squad wiping things that you sometimes see, but it's whittling down the forces before he needs to engage, which is what he needs to do.
Absolutely. And I guess like my thinking here is, so next turn we'll probably see a rule with respect, right? That's a pretty straightforward prediction. I don't know what we see out of Adam, but it's a pretty safe bet that that's what Dan will do. And then after that, he's then free, I guess, to play lower pip cards. So does he do a Boba dive with the blender attack in turn 3? Does he do, I have no idea what's going to come out after that, but I imagine it's going to be a Boba show from turn 3 onwards.
Yeah. So as Dan, I think you let Adam have the point in round 2. Do you? Like, do you try and contest the point in round 2?
You know what? Okay, so let's look at those little yellow. Oh, bugger it! They just got rid of the little yellow circles. Like, looking at just vaguely from what I saw there, I don't think those B2 leaders will be 1 move away from contesting that point.
Right.
If we see it again, we'll have to like try and grab a mental image of it. But if that's the case, then I think you're right. I think he just moves up and shoots next turn and doesn't worry about the point. And Dan will obviously have something on that point. It shouldn't be too hard for him at all. I wonder where he'll form his little firing line. Like, you've got to put Boba somewhere safe, because he wants to be able to because Boba's rule with respect is going to be range 1. So my guess is that Boba will move probably over next to that ladder near where Inferno squad is. Because from there, that range 1 bubble comes out a fair way from there, and he should be able to just give free dice to everybody without getting shot by anything other than maybe these sneaky little pikes that are popping up on the flank here.
Yeah.
What does that ladder count as? That's light. I mean, it doesn't really matter though, because you'll have that that wall in the way. So you should be able to get pretty safe cover there a fair bit.
So this is the disruptor shot from one of the pikes into Inferno.
End of round, very nice. Nice and speedy, well done guys. You see that cheeky little red pike there hanging out the side? That's just for the free dodge from the capo.
Yep.
It's like B1 cohesion, but and I'm guessing we'll see the HQ uplink this turn, so we'll put that onto the Magna Guard. That would make sense. So that, as I said, cleaning the bag as much as humanly possible.
Yep.
Right,
that's probably something I don't think about enough of when I play, is cleaning the bag to make sure I pull the things that I want to pull.
I think droids are particularly like they pay attention to it a lot. Yeah, bombardment versus rule with respect. No surprises there. That should be cool. And it's because with droids, depending on your build, you can usually either clean the bag by, doing your B1 chain and getting everybody activated with a face up, or you can usually clean it the other way, where you just go, you can just keep the core in the bag, for example, with the B2 list and take everything else out, kind of thing. So there are multiple ways to clean the bag, but droids especially pay attention to that sort of stuff. Whereas, Imperials and clones tend to be more like get those tokens onto your key things, and everything else will kind of look after itself. And obviously, Shadow Collective are just kind of like, just give me all the free tokens, thanks. I'll just be independent all over the place. So, look at these free tokens going out.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Must be nice.
The new, is it Revenant Battle Force from for the Imperials?
Remnant. Imperial Remnant, yeah.
They get some funky independent stuff. So like their command range is only range 2, but anything outside of that gets independent aim or dodge.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I played a game against a guy the other day on TTS, and he wanted to test that out, and I hadn't really seen it in play before, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Definitely some shenanigans you can pull, like
especially with all the heavy in the unit swapping and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see a lot of the same combos. Like he had the combos that I'd already heard about beforehand. Like he had the old rocket on the Death Troopers. The original Death Troopers, not the Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get a free aim, and then they're just going to refresh to get back all their, their their range 4 weapon mod kind of thing, and then they're going to launch a rocket and a bunch of range 4s, and that was pretty cool. That was bad.
Yeah.
And he also had the Scout Troopers with the T-21 from the Shore Trooper weapon. So I think we're going to see a lot of that as well, because it's just a bunch of white dice, and they just really wanted a critical keyword added to them. So bang, there you go.
Yep. And with precise 2 as well, and like if they're outside range 2, they get independent aim. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, and like through what's that 3-pip called where the core gets an aim and they pass it along? That technically counts because they count as core troopers as well.
Coordinated fire, yep.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they count as core for army building, but they don't count as core once they're on the table.
Right. Okay.
So you still flip a special forces token.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it still works. You've still got a million names being passed around. So
yeah.
But the clever one that he used that I hadn't really thought of and I hadn't seen anybody talking about was he had his what do you call them, Dark Troopers, and turn 2 he uses that Gideon's 2-pip, where they take off and they land.
Yeah.
And he threw them down. So imagine my deployment looks a lot like Adam's at this point, and he drops them behind my army. So he probably drops them on that scrap pile kind of thing at the back, wherever range 2 is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a bit funny, but in the same breath, he's when you're thinking about cover, you're thinking about your enemy being in front of you, and then suddenly there's these bloody Dark Troopers behind you, and you're like, I mean, think about how many open shots he would have, because it's like, shit, where did they come from?
Yep.
And then, of course, because they're out of range of Gideon, they're starting the turn with a free aim, and you're like, well, that's shit.
And that's a problem, because then you have to divvy up your forces to try kill those guys, but that's a hard task just in on itself, because they have full armor, red saves, and it's just like, yeah.
And I did a really bad job of that myself. So, okay. Here comes some damage. So, who's this? Is this Iden?
Yes, it is. Maybe shooting those Magnas? Oh, that's not a good start. That sucks.
Ew. His Iden has not been great so far.
No. I think we're passing.
I think we're passing again.
Alright, so strike team shot into maybe yellow B2s, already injured ones.
But that would make sense. Every model you take down. I mean, that repair boy can bring them back, but...
I mean, the B ones are so far away. I don't think it matters.
And I think he's going to move first just to get safe, you know. So
that.
I know Boba's still there. Does he get an extra dice? No, he must have to have line of sight.
Yeah, it is line of sight.
Okay. So Boba didn't even move. He's just sitting there with his big brass balls in the wind. But I guess he must have looked at that range and gone, he can't reach me with a range 3 from an advance. Which again, it's hard to tell scale without having the rulers and stuff. But maybe that's the case. That would make a lot of sense.
Curtis, I didn't forget to use the pass mechanic. I used it when I could, and I felt like it did make an impact, especially like I was running Wookiees. Or double Mando, double Wookiee basically, and like they're very time dependent. So being able to pass and delay that one extra turn, so they didn't have to get shot for an extra turn, was, I wouldn't say huge, but it definitely helped. Did you ever pass over the week from CanCon?
You mean did my 12 activation droids ever pass? Surprisingly enough, no. The only person I actually could have used a pass against was Pete with his 13 activation droids, but we didn't get to play. So, unfortunately, I missed my one and only opportunity to use a pass token.
I managed to play against Pete, and I think that game I did forget because I was just, I was in it. That game went wrong very quickly for me.
Pete tends to do that.
Yeah, or I misplayed Arden very much. I was too aggressive with her way too quickly, and she just got shot off the board. I don't know what I was thinking.
So here's that little DLT squad we were talking about before. So, you know, I mean, 3 dice at range 4 is not nothing.
No.
You probably get a shot through, get a hit through. I think the hardest thing for... Oh, what's that? No? Oh,
Dodge standby.
Okay. I think the hardest thing for Dan with army selection is which cards do you pick? He's got so many awesome 3 pips, and he'd be really struggling. Do I want coordinated? Do I want rocket? Like he's spoiled for choice.
Yeah, Curtis, it definitely was a hurricaning. The hurricane ruined my brain. Let's blame it on that. Yeah, so it looks like just getting a cheeky little silhouette shot into the yellow B2s. That's 1 PS1. That's nice.
Nice.
After cover. Yeah, I'm just going to go make a drink. I'll be 1 sec.
Yep. Decimus, I think you're talking about the T21, which is on the Shore Troopers. I'm talking about the DLT on the Storms. So it's one of those guns we haven't really seen since Wave 1. But it's nice to see it back on the table. And I do wonder if we'll see a little bit more of the old DLT when people start to try and put more impact in. That's all right. I'm just I'm keeping track. It's 1 point chat, 1 point me. You guys were right. It was cumbersome, not plotting. So that's 1 point to you guys, and we'll keep track as we go. But there are a lot more of you, so it doesn't feel like a fair match. What have we got here? Oh, this will be a bombardment. What's he going for? Sniper team? Double move for a sniper team? Can't see 2 of them that I could imagine, so... No, Curtis, I don't think it is. I think that's why I was thinking of it, because I've been scarred by DTs on multiple occasions lately.
Alright,
They
I'm
are
back.
very, very good. Pretty sure Adam's going for a bombard here.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Inferno, by the looks of it.
Well, he was looking to make a double move. for some snipers would have been the guess, but I'm thinking he's worked out that he can't actually see both, so he's going to go for Inferno.
That's one crit.
That's a bit sad.
It's not too bad. So 3. Dodge 1. Save space.
Oh,
How
that
good.
is such a. You hate to see that. Come on, that was a beautiful bombard.
As someone who plays red save factions a lot, I love to see it.
I just love the imagery of it though, right? Like we've all seen stormtroopers get shot by a stiff breeze and they fall down dead. But apparently literal weapons from space bounce off.
Yeah,
like,
they can just dodge it. It's fine.
It's an awfully precise weapon from space as well, isn't it, when you think about it? Like just those guys. Not the dude standing 1 feet away.
And it's also funny to think about if the cover from the person shooting gets
yeah.
from Kraken, if he didn't have sharpshooter, they would be getting heavy cover. But from the space weapon looking above, the space weapon doesn't care.
No, apparently it's Maybe he's got to hold like a little laser pointer to like guide the shot in or something, so the laser pointer is disrupted by the cover somehow. Alright, what have we got here? Oh, this is these B2s coming up. So let's have a look at this range bubble. This should be. Is he going for the snipers at that angle? Must be, right? No, he hasn't got the range, I don't think.
Yeah.
So is he just chilling this turn?
By the looks of it.
I mean, that does make sense. If you can't kill something, then I think Adam, if you're watching this, you should be paying more attention to your droid cohesion. You don't have to put that dude out on the left there like that. You can just do 4 in a row, and they will all fit inside the bubble. Droids get very used to, or at least B1 players get very used to deploying their guys in very neat little lines, because you've got a lot of bodies to fit into a deployment zone. So
is 4 bodies the magic number from the leader?
Yeah, you can go 4 back from the leader exactly. If they're in like a straight line, if they're all touching. Whereas if you look at those maroon B1s, you can see there's a little bit of gap there, so he cannot fit them all in. It's not a little thing. Anybody other than droids, like if you're a clone player, you wouldn't even notice this sort of stuff.
Absolutely not.
But when you're trying to fit 50 models into a deployment zone, you notice. So
yeah. So are you thinking of taking droids to Worlds?
I mean,
it's what you know.
Yes, it probably is what I know. I know droids and I know imps, so I would put money on it being one of those two.
Yep.
I could say I don't want to be a shameless slave to the meta, and run something like Blizzard.
Yep.
But in the same breath, every significant tournament victory I've ever had was basically being a slave to the meta. So the meta kind of is what it is for a reason. So we will see. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to fly all the way there and get booted out on the first day. So
yeah. So how does the tournament work?
Oh, here we go. This will be a big shot. What is he shooting at? What is it? Does he have a?
Oh, I think.
He's got a sneaky silhouette
on the yellow guys or the maroon guys. Sorry, that's pretty damn good. So that's 3 crits.
And I think it's that dude at the back that he coheed out. The straight line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Adam.
I hope you rewatch this, man, because that's just lazy. Should have just tucked them all in, and that guy would be safe. So that was a lesson for you. It's alright. He didn't pay for it too much.
No.
The tournament structure is basically on day 1. You have to go 2-1 on day 1, so it doesn't really matter if you go 3 or not. Then they reset it. On day 2, if you go 3 zip, you keep going, and you get an extra round. So if you go 3 zip, you play 4th round. So basically 3 zip, on day 2 will leave us with 8 players. So round 4 on that second day will be the top 8, and then obviously you just got to keep winning from that point onwards because it's eliminations after that. So
Yeah, right.
like I'd be very happy as long as I make it to at least day 2 somewhere, and if I can make it any further, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, just an extra win.
Absolutely, just
Yeah.
The Americans I've been reading, they're all talking about how it's going to work with the new structure, strength of schedule versus this versus that versus whatever. I'm going, just don't lose a game. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't worry about countbacks. Go to the world. Just win.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, it's just a simple thing. Just win all the time. Of course.
Just get good, scrub.
How did they not think of that? That's funny.
But no, it should be really good. Like it's going to be a huge amount of international players there. So the Germans have a whole busload of players going apparently, and there's obviously a few of us from Australia, and I'm not sure if there's a lot from other parts of the world. I know that there is. I think it's like Argentina or something has a pretty big Legion circuit, but I don't know.
Really?
I don't know much beyond France, Germany, Poland, and America. So
Poland? Really?
yeah, Poland. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, right.
And they've had really big Armada crews as well for a long time. So yeah, like it's quite funny where these games pop up. But whatever it takes.
That is funny. So
What have we got? More shores.
So Adam did push the yellow B2 squad into range 1 of the deployment of the intercept. Sorry.
Oh yes, he's just kissing that little bubble. Very nice.
Yeah. So it looks like we're just going for a T21 shot.
Yeah, and so it looks like that blue squad won't be able to get there with 1 move. So
No.
he doesn't really have anything else that's going to make it in 1 move. Like those Magnus might make it if they wanted to double up, which there's no reason why they couldn't. You'd assume those pikes are probably just going to chill. You'd assume the B1s aren't going to do it either.
Would the blue B2s be able to do it if they climbed?
Not from where that T series is, no.
No.
Again, I'm just looking at the bases to try and judge that distance. I don't think they could get off that little fence that's in the middle there. Those bases are an inch, so I think he'd fall short just a little. So he's going to put something in there so that obviously Dan has to put something in response. And I don't know what that something will actually be. Like, does he chuck Boba in and then get him out of there real fast next turn?
Or do you go, maybe you do go Boba, do a last first kind of deal?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then do his spinny attack next turn.
His spinning attack could be quite powerful. I mean, it's risky going in that early. You could even, if you want to be super cheeky with Boba, you could put him, if you look at that building in front of the B2s, if you look at it top down, there's this funny little cornery bit between a couple of walls there. Like, I wonder if you could put a sneaky Boba in there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I reckon it'd be bloody hard to draw a line of sight to him.
Yeah, like right in that corner.
Yeah, right in the sneaky little alcove. I don't know. It's easy when you're just observing. You can look at all these things and hypothesize.
Like, you'd probably have to get all the way out to the Bantha.
Yeah.
To see.
That's what I'm thinking.
And this is why you're one of the best players in Australia. Because you think about that stuff.
Honestly, I reckon I could play this game 5 times over and never pick up on that. But when I'm just sitting here looking at stuff while I'm waiting for, shore troopers to move in and blow things away, I've got all the time in the world to think of that. So, so here's when that line of sight's going to matter too, because so this is the dark blue. So realistically, he can see the T series. Do you think he can see anything other than the T series? Because otherwise, that's going to be 1 wound maximum that he can actually do with this shot.
I would say potentially maybe the B2 behind. Because
they're on the same line, aren't they?
Yeah. Do the wound allocation happen from the leader, or does it
Yep.
also
Oh no,
go
that's
from-
right.
So if the heavy can see, does that
Yep.
count?
Yeah, you're right. It is from the troopers. So yeah, that would be
3
up to
crits.
3 then.
Yeah, which
Oh, there you
happened.
go. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, what keyword do you think we're going to get for Ewoks? I mean, obviously they were going to get the drop bears keyword, where they can appear next to any terrain piece, like randomly.
That would be so good. It's so funny. Obviously, incognito. I think with that kind of got spoiled a little bit cheekily.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
So in the CRB, the incognito token has an Ewok symbol on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, the obvious is the ATST, right?
Yeah,
You know, hijacked ATST would have incognito.
that's funny.
I can't imagine the actual bears having incognito. Like, how are you confused that it's a little murder bear coming at you? But maybe. Who knows? Yeah, Curtis, you're right. Like, command cards being a trap of some sort would make sense too. Like, we haven't actually seen whether or not we're getting a catapult, for example. But obviously, what was there in the movie? There was catapults, there was dropped rocks, and there was log trap. So some combination of that has got to be a command card, right?
Yeah, or maybe something along the lines of doing something where you just pop up by terrain.
Yeah. Now, when you think about it, you think about how good the Blizzard Bombard is. Like, think about how massive that log trap has got to be, because that log trap, that thing killed an ATSD straight up. So what's that going to be, like 15
Impact a
dice?
million?
Yep, Impact Infinite and Pierce 47 or something like that. That'd be great. Totally fair and balanced.
Yeah, arrow volley. That's another idea.
Mm-hmm. Just so many cool little murder bear things. I'm so excited for murder bears. I'm really excited about the idea of spraying them brown, inking, dry brushing, and then calling it a day. That's going to be great. That's going to be so much. That's going to be more fun than painting droids.
Yeah. So what do you think we'll see on the... So we know we're getting like Moff Gideon and the Dark Troopers on the Imperial side. What do you think we'll get for CIS and GAR?
Oh, like coming up. I mean,
yeah.
well, we've got Ventress.
Yep. And Ahsoka.
Yep. I don't super know. I mean, there's so much stuff for Sis, isn't there? There's, there's big wheelie boy droids. There's all sorts of cool stuff.
Do you think maybe Geonosians?
I mean, Geonosians would be an obvious one, yeah. Although they never gave us Gungans. So, like, where's my Gungans? Well, here we go. This is going to be a rocket shot into those snipey boys, I imagine. This could be a good one. Here's where that blast comes in very handy.
Yep, for sure.
No? Oh, he moved twice. Never mind.
Okay.
Where's Boba Fett going?
Aggressive Boba.
Is Dan gonna seriously put him on that wall? Because that's what we call overhang.
And I think the tower is height 3, so we can't jump over it.
Oh, yep, too big. Fair enough. Yeah, so he can't actually make this move. Yeah. Like, you don't have to do the whole go a little bit. You don't have to. It's not like the old rules where you had to do a whole base width worth
All
of
the way.
whatever, because that would have really messed this up. You can cut it fine, but I mean, if we were playing for sheep stations here, we would point out that movement tool is actually going through that building.
Yeah.
But we're not playing sheep stations.
Sheep stations.
Have you never heard that phrase before?
No.
Oh, you've clearly never played cards with anybody over 60. Yeah, you really haven't lived. Let's just say we're playing for high stakes.
I mean, I got the gist of it.
I think the old people have all the best phrases.
Yeah.
You know, because they've got ones that have been tried and tested and have lasted a long time.
Like surely they
Sure.
would have had like heaps of ones that were just absolute stinkers, and only the good ones made it through.
That's what I mean. It's like when you get nostalgic about music, and it's like you go, "Oh, music from the '90s was the best," but it's like in reality, 99% of music, you know, from the '90s was shit. You just only hear the 1% that actually survived it. So,
Yeah.
how old is old? Over 25? Yes, yeah, Curtis, absolutely. Over 25 is definitely old.
That sucks.
Okay, so where's Big Balls Boba gonna go? So this is a real aggressive Boba. Like he's obviously gonna go and light up those blue guys, I guess. But he's only gonna do it with a range 3 gun, so
Yeah. So like the B2s have gone. All 3 B2s have gone. The Pikes still need to go. And so do the Magna Guard. Need to be wary of. Or think. Oh no. The B1s and the red Pikes have gone. So I think he can be a little bit aggressive. Oh, it's happening! Boba's hiding in your spot. Anyway, I think we've lost Steve. I don't know where he went. Anyway, but it looks like Boba is hiding in that magical spot that...
Oh. Did I? Oh, I disappeared, sorry.
That's right.
I was saying a whole bunch of stuff, and I was very excited about Boba jumping into that spot. But apparently my mic had muted itself because then you were like, "Oh, we lost Steve," and I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
But yes. No, don't do that, Dan. Get in there.
Yeah, it's fine.
I love your work.
Because I guess if you do put Boba in there, and then what does Boba's spinny attack do? It does like impact and other fun stuff.
Does it have impact or it's definitely got blast? I'll have to look that one up.
Blast impact 1.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So it's 3 dice, right? 2 reds and a black.
2 reds and a black.
Like when he did it against me, it was against B1, so he just killed like a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of models. Oh, Adam must have picked him up on that corner of that building again. Oh no!
It probably would have been the clutter that he was going over.
Yeah, because he
So-
can't jump twice.
Yeah. So reducing speed by 1, difficult terrain. So speed 2, then speed 3 to jump over the wall.
So that's not as safe a spot, but in the same breath, we're looking at so the blue B2s can get him, the maroon B2s could get him, probably nothing else could really get him. And those blue B2s are looking at a sniper team already, so maybe that's actually his plan. Like, you know, like maybe he wants to soak a few shots onto Boba so that he doesn't lose a sniper team. Maybe,
Potentially.
don't know. I imagine
So-
we're definitely going to see a token on Boba next turn though.
So double move from the
Yeah.
Magnas to get onto the point.
Yep. Okay. So we thought that. So Dan's got 1 on the point. Adam's got 2. What's still got to go? A mortar.
The mortar, the green Pikes. They potentially could. That looks like a double move away easily.
Iden hasn't gone. Oh, see, I can't quite tell with all these tokens. So no, I've got a commander there. So Iden has gone. Corpse is gone. Corpse is gone. All right. So we've got. Of course, we've got these guys.
Inferno. They
Inferno all
exist.
tied up. They are a thing.
They rally off their suppression.
Yeah, so Inferno can obviously make that. So it's going to be a tied point because I don't think. Well, I mean, those green pikes could make that.
With a double move,
Looking
they
at-
could. And then
The double move, they could do it.
Then potentially the mortar could double move as well.
My question is, if they do a double move, where the hell are they going to finish up? Because it feels like a lot of bad spaces. Maybe they could go under this awning on this shoppy looking thing, because there's not too much looking at them then.
No.
They're going to be a bit exposed, but I mean, they could go early, I guess, and they are pikes.
Brezab, it's kind of hard to tell at the moment. Dan has managed to pick off quite a decent amount of damage through sniper shots and tack strikes and whatnot. So this yellow squad is 2.5 B1's down. The only wounds that have been dealt to Dan is on Inferno squad, which looks like they've been healed up.
Yep, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I think I like Dan's positioning here, but in the same breath, we are about to see a bunch of rockets get launched off next turn. And Dan's biggest advantage was long range, so
due to the nature of intercept, you can't stay at long range forever.
No. Yeah, here we go. Here's those pikes coming in. So it's all been pretty one-sided so far, but that was how it was always going to go. And now, like, you know, a lot of the time Legion is about threat saturation. And if you look at how many threats Adam now has in full effective range of Dan for next turn, this game's going to get bloody really quickly. So
that makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see. I don't actually know what card Adam plays next turn. This will be interesting. Like, there's a few options here.
Like you want to save the free recover one. So that's
definitely not doing that. He's got Roger, so free dodge tokens would be good because it's going to be a lot of shots being traded next turn.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, if those green pikes, for example, are going to get out of there, he might just try and reverse clear his pool by playing things that will just get non-trooper tokens out of the bag, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
he's also got they too will suffer.
Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah, that could be really good.
And preservation protocols. I haven't.
Yeah.
That's disengage, impervious, and a dodge.
So preservation protocols. I wonder if he saves that. If Boba dives, you play at the turn after Boba dives. So then you can just withdraw and then blow the living crap out of Boba. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So you probably don't see preservation. You're probably. Oh, that means he does have Roger, right? The 3-pip?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's either going to be Roger, or maybe that 1-pip that you mentioned, they too shall suffer.
Yeah, so it looks like 3-2. So Adam does get the point.
Yep, absolutely.
So
you know what it's like.
Technically, Adam is winning.
Well, technically, Adam's first at CanCon already, you know. So all he's just doing is maintaining his lead.
Yeah.
But you know what intercept missions are like. I swear, like 80% of intercept missions, it goes 2-1, 2-1, and then it swings back the other way, and it comes down to points killed.
Yeah.
That's what plays out a lot of the time. So
I guess it's something we need to factor in is Boba's bounty on the super tack.
That is a thing.
I've forgotten all about.
It'll be interesting. I don't think Dan's Boba is particularly kitted to claim a bounty. In that he doesn't have rocket, for example. So like his big burst damage cards, he doesn't have them. So I don't think that's necessarily how he uses his Boba.
Yeah.
But it's certainly always an option. In fact, I remember when Dan ran
Hello.
Hello,
how you going? Sorry for the boring game.
No, we've been making ourselves fun.
You're making yourself fun. Hey, we got a quick rules question.
Mm.
Do you now do the climb action twice?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, because it's just under movement. It just says when you do a move, you can do a move or a climb. So yep, absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much.
Cheers. And if I got that wrong, chat will melt down in 3, 2, 1.
Speaking of chat, for some reason, my bot has deleted all of the chat. For some reason. That's really weird.
No, I've still got it.
Oh,
I just
on
watched-
on my screen it says like message deleted by stream elements, and
That's so weird. I haven't got any of that. Curtis just posted like 30 seconds ago.
yeah.
Andrew's confirming that I did in fact not stuff it up, so that's good. Thanks, Andrew.
And you can see all the messages before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I haven't got anything deleted by the what's he?
Yeah.
Sorry, just reading over the chat now. All right,
Adam's
back
trying to
again. What have we
cheat.
got? Ambush. Ambush makes sense too. Okay. Versus a simple man. Yes, very good. So I wonder if does that 1 pip on Boba mean Boba's gonna do something early, or is he just gonna chill? He gets if he puts it on himself, he gets the free move, right? So he does. I wonder if he even uses that free move to just tuck himself back into that corner a bit more.
That's funny.
Because he can give this order to somebody else if he wants to, but that would be a big balls play. Like if you're going to leave Boba there without an order on him, that's brave man.
So he gets marksman and aim and increases his range weapons by 1. Yeah, right.
That's only if he doesn't have the order.
Right.
So if he is given the order,
He
go
gets
to
a
the second half
speed.
of that.
Yeah, he gets a free.
Yes, speed 1. Did he put it on there? Right. What?
Curtis
Yeah,
is
I'm
just
with-
showing me TTS things. Hold Alt while looking over the card in it. I didn't know that.
Okay. So he put it on the Shore Troopers. Oh, that is some
Oh,
big
wow.
Boba balls. That is some very big Boba balls. Well done, Dan. You are a braver man than me. So is he going to light up the pikes here? We might see that fire support we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Can't
It's-
imagine a better target.
No.
Oh, the
You'll-
Magnus?
I mean, the pikes only have 1 dodge. You'll get them out of cover.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. This is a big hit. Is he fire supporting? Yes. Yes, he
Yes.
is.
Love to see it.
Oh, big bada boom. Here we go.
So what's that? That's 4, 5, 6. 6 black and 5 white.
Yeah. That's what we call a shit ton of dice. That's a metric measurement. Oh, that's a bit sad.
That's a bit sad. So it is
That's a bit sad. It is 6.
2, 4, 6.
That's how you get an out of cover shot in the new rules.
Oh no way!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. That is not
That's
fair.
rough.
Adam, you're a big jerk. Massive cheat on Dan. Oh no, I'm on Adam there.
Oh god.
Call the judge. Get those dice checked.
Yeah.
I think he's been cooking them.
Yeah, leaving them out in the sun overnight, over the day. That's rough.
And it being pikes as well. That's just insult to injury. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep, here we go. Where are these guys going?
Do you double move them into the shore troopers? That
I was wondering if he was going to go for Boba. I thought he was going to, when he was asking if he can climb twice, I was wondering if he was going to climb over that building and just go straight into Boba. But this looks like he's going,
into
I don't
the
know where. He's not going to reach those, anything. Well, actually, look at that range 2 bubble. That's going to be bloody close. If he can do a straight line, he might reach him. Or either that or that bonnet of that car is going to stuff him up just a millimeter, and it's going to be just too much. Oh, no.
Yeah, going for Boba.
Same thing, though. Look at this, because you can't land on top of that silly, nipple building.
Yep.
So this is one of those times where it'd be like, oh, have you discussed this with your opponent? And it's like, I think that discussion is happening live.
Yeah. I think you'll definitely see less and less of these wobbly nipple
Buildings.
buildings.
I don't know. TTS has these things in saved into the module, so people probably just keep using them.
Yeah.
See, if he turned that speed 2, again, I'm not quite super sure how that knuckle goes with that corner, but if he turns that for one move, a speed 1 would probably get him over that building and over that wall and into Boba. But
I think
he wants those shores.
He should be good. Like, even if he moved back a little bit, he'd still be all right.
Yeah, and that's it. I don't think he was allowed to stop over that car the way that he did, but I reckon he could have gone sideways, and that still would have reached based on. He had about half a base to play with there, so
yeah. So what's this melee attack going to be? It's going to be pretty wicked.
It's what is it? 4 blacks for the 2 normal Magnas, and then 2 reds, and then another one for tenacity. So that's a fair whack of damage. Potentially.
You watch Adam roll the full kahuna. That's pretty damn close.
I think that's about the average, yeah. That's not... I mean, without the aim token, I guess.
Yeah.
That's 2. That is painful.
You hate to see it.
Well, you hate to see it off the back of what was, a pretty awesome idea otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And they are immobilized as well. And you can overlap terrain that isn't obstacle terrain. So the car should be fine to sit the way he did, apparently.
I think it's one of those ones, like, I think that the new terrain definitions are one of the most weird areas. Like, if the car's not an obstacle, what is it? Is it area terrain? Is it? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it kind of looks like an obstacle, but I mean, like I said, they've obviously had a conversation about it, and whatever they've decided is fine with me.
Yeah. Curtis, I don't think there is a 45-degree rule because, I guess that's a good question. If it's scatter,
I think there is still a 45-degree rule.
Yeah. I was just thinking, since it needs to sit flat, it doesn't like it. Yeah. But
I mean, like, at the end of the day, I mean, 90% of terrain rules in this game come down to whatever you and your opponent agree to. So if they're fine with that, and I mean, let's face it, if we're talking about logic, it would be perfectly logical for that Magna Guard to run up that low ass bonnet and then jump off it in a really cool fashion and start slaughter and stuff. So I wouldn't have said no to that either, personally.
Yeah.
Because scatter terrain is not. Well, it's supposed to be small terrain features such as crates, planters, or lampposts. So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Part of them, it's Tatooine clutter is the.
Well, you know what? That sounds pretty scattery to me. Clutter.
Does. Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, I guess for invader purposes this year, they might have to even change those tooltips and be like, where they've written light cover, maybe they need to say scatter or something.
Yeah.
Because that says treat as low dirt walls. I mean, what the hell is a low dirt wall?
Obviously not a high dirt wall.
Yeah, because I would have thought a wall is like a barricade, and a barricade you definitely couldn't do that on. So, but whatever.
Yeah. So these B2s have double moved into Boba.
Right. That is a thing you can do.
I think it definitely is.
I'm really not sure about that one. I'm going to be honest with you.
If anything, you would have maybe gone with the blue B2s first, took a shot at Boba first, then then do that. Sure.
I mean, this does stop Boba from, like, it shuts him down, which is good. It stops him from shooting stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
He's got his wicked kick. That's about it. Like his flamethrower, I guess. Like his flame won't be terrible. If he flames and kicks, that won't be terrible. But obviously next turn he can just whip cord and fly away. So not super sure about that one. What do we got? Some pikey pikes. Is he
Pikes.
charging?
He is
He's
into
charging.
Inferno.
You know what? And that probably makes a lot of sense because Inferno's got a lot of guns and a lot of dice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably little. I mean, pikeys aren't terrible in melee.
They're slot machines, but it can be a very scary slot machine.
It's a lot of dice.
I've run Wookiees into many a pikes, and a lot of the time the pikes end up on top.
Yeah, and you know who's not good in melee?
Inferno.
Yeah, that is 3 red dice as opposed to what? 4 blacks, 2 reds. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a lot less dice. So
Yep.
I like this. Adam getting in there and just making a big mess of everything. Love it. I mean, we said this battle was going to be fought at close range. I wasn't thinking this close range. I know, sure, whatever. Holy hell! Look at that! Look at that punch. That is nice. Oh, he's only got 1 surge though. Never mind. I mean, he said that was a slot machine. If he'd had 1 more surge, that would have been a 50% slot machine on bloody white dice. That would have been pretty good. Getting God for us. Both shores have gone, right? Yeah.
Yes, so it's
So
just
we're down to mortars or
and
DLT
the
squad?
DLT squad.
Mortars aren't going to have range to much of anything, or not they can see anyway. You could
What do you
just aim
do with them?
standby the mortars. Well, you could aim standby because again, those B2s need to get within range 3 to shoot. So if those, let's say those yellow B2s want to come around that corner, an aim standby mortar will be a good idea.
It's going for a dodge standby.
Okay, that makes sense too because they're probably gonna be the thing that gets shot. So
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Probably a
Although-
move.
You know, I don't know if I'm Adam and I've got B2s and I'm only shooting at range 3. Do I shoot the mortar or do I just try to take models out of the T21 squads? I'm thinking maybe I take models off. I don't know. Here's a rocket. Okay, rocket into a sniper team.
Yep. That hurts.
Oh, very nice. That's a pickup.
Down to 9 acts each. No more passing.
Clearly, the blue dice roller is broken here tonight.
Yeah. It's going for a withdrawal from Boba. So
Okay.
the yellow B2s, or depending if they climb or not, they might be able to get a shot off, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm actually.
it's an
again,
interesting
I'm
idea,
surprised.
Adam. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm surprised with this one. I couldn't tell you what he's going for here with Boba. I wonder if he's. I don't know. I wonder if he's thinking about going and sneaking off and trying to kill a super tack, or maybe he just wants to shoot the shit out of those B2s. Maybe that's why he's withdrawing here. So now he can put a mortar, he can put an Iden, he can put the stormtroopers, and just pour fire into those guys. Maybe that's the objective. Like it's not about what Boba does; it's about
What
this
everything
movie
else
allows.
can do.
Yeah. Because he could dump a lot of suppression on this unit by the end of the turn as well. So But yeah, Andrew, you're not wrong there, mate. I could do it. The only problem with that idea is that those Magners would come pretty damn close to one-shotting a mortar with that dice pool, and that's not even factoring in Adam's bullshit dice. Like, just a normal human could probably still one-shot that mortar pretty effectively, and then of course they can move again after that. So,
Like they only have 3 health, don't they?
that's right.
Yeah.
And if Adam brings that that super attack Kraken into range 2, they'll get retinue, so they can start the turn with an aim. So I mean, 4 blacks, 3 reds.
3 reds.
That sounds like 5 or 6 damage to me. It'd be a close run thing either way, but that's the conundrum, isn't it? Like if you withdraw, and then they kill them, they kill the mortar and just move back into you. It's like, you wasted that shot. But I don't know. He's got to find a way to get rid of those Magnus somehow, and that is not an easy proposition.
So it looks like the mortars will that purple mortar will shoot the B2s Boba withdrew out of.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there.
Or not. Dodge standby.
Okay. Or not. Curtis thinking the old mortars are invincible. Fair enough.
The steel tube as a Wookiee shield. If only.
I mean, need we remind you at this point what happened to the old Wookiees? That story didn't work out too well for them with the old shields when the Empire invaded. But I like where your head's at.
I played against I forgot his name, but he did some really cool Wookiee conversions. So like he put like a bunch of Wookiee, the battle shield and like other bits and pieces onto one of the barks and put a Wookiee into the driver.
Oh, nice.
Just made it look like a full-on Wookiee spitter. You wouldn't have been able to tell it started off as a bark.
That's so cool. Was that the guy that won Best Painted?
No.
Oh.
A different Wookiee player. And he had a 3D printed Quinlan Voss as an Anakin.
What's a Quinlan Voss?
I think that's his name. The Jedi.
I don't know that one. I'll have to look it up. Right. Oh, here comes some more pikes. Quinlan Voss, Kifar male Jedi master who lived during the final days of the Galactic Republic, from the planet Kifu.
I think he had a thing with Ventress for a bit.
The picture on the thing is animated, so it must be from something there.
Yeah.
He teamed with Obi-Wan Kenobi to track down a Hutt crime lord named Zero. Cool.
I am making my way through the Clone Wars TV show at the moment.
Did he just take 2 wounds on that mortar? He did. Oh, we're just saying invincible mortars. Those bloody pikes just put a downrange shot and did 2 wounds. That's
rough.
we gotta admit, like, dice have not, like, Dan's dice have not been favourable so far this game.
No, they
like
haven't.
if we're being honest, they're definitely this turn especially.
Like with the 5 white saves and he takes 1 wound. That's rough.
I mean that hit roll was below average, and then that save roll was obscene.
Yeah.
And then of course when it's Dan's turn for a coin flip on those sniper teams, nope, they're dead. And then the mortar, nope, it's dead. Straight past the 2 dodge tokens.
Yeah.
Gross. That's alright. He'll work it out.
So
What's this one?
the Stormtroopers?
Oh yeah, this is the DLT Storms. That was, oh god, that's a bit tragic as well. Bloody hell.
You could Dan is getting annoyed. Spamming. That's
Oh. Because that would have been against those B2s. That would have
Yeah.
been a potentially very nice shot, except what the hell? They didn't even break cover. Like, come on.
Oh god. With an aim shoot as well, you would expect so much more.
They really do.
On the red dice as well, blinking twice.
That's gross. It's honestly gross.
Yeah. Well, it's like on the weekend with I actually took some airband shots with Mando. It was against Pat actually. His Mando was on one wound and I blanked the airband twice in a row.
Oh. M-band's one of those weapons, isn't it? Like, it's going to hit 100% of the time until it matters.
Until it
It's
matters.
never going to
Yeah.
hit. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing? I think they're trying to work out who's gone. Well, they're probably, because their tokens are a bit of a mess, maybe they're trying to work out whose tokens are whose. Lost the token. I think from my count, the yellow B2s haven't gone.
Yeah.
That looks like about it, right? And on Dan's side, is that second sniper team? Yeah, it's gone. It moved.
Yeah.
The mortars stand by. Iden? Has Iden gone?
Yeah, these B2s
Yep.
haven't gone.
Yeah, it's only the yellow
yeah,
B2s, right?
Yeah. So what's this dice pool?
What is this one? I mean, it's a T21 squad, right? I was pretty sure they'd both gone. Because the blue ones went early, and I would have sworn those other ones. Oh, well, I guess not. I thought, see, this is what I thought was funny, because I saw that there was a face down token in front of that T21 squad, but I couldn't tell you what it had done. This is the green one. So I think I think that
The
token was
Shores.
just put in the wrong spot. Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
They just activate the clock.
Yeah, they do. Bit late for that.
Okay, here come the yellow guys, and this is why I'm surprised that second mortar just stood by, because
Because they had a
obviously-
shot.
yeah, he can obviously just keep the keep this little yellow guy just out of that bubble and shoot at. I'm guessing at Inferno. I'm not sure on the range, but I'm guessing because these guys are all tied up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to get any closer to that mortar, so does he have an angle to Inferno?
Currently, the leader can only see the one.
I mean, that's probably enough, really, isn't it?
Oh, and I guess the other guy can see the generic guy behind.
Look at him. Oh, what?
Huh?
I'm confused. I'm confused. We'll see. Oh, the mortar? Okay, so he's walking into range of the mortar.
Gotcha.
And the mortar is shooting him.
So that's 2 suppression onto the T series of the B2s.
Yeah.
So that's 3 into Inferno. 4.
Well, it could be the mortar now, or it could be Inferno. I'm not super sure. Let's find out. Oh, whatever it is, it's in pain. Oh, there goes that
it's
mortar.
the mortar.
Who's that person saying mortars are invincible? You watching this shit?
It was Curtis. I'm throwing you under the bus, Curtis.
I think it's Curtis's fault. We all agree.
How is dead invincible?
What is dead can never die. Okay, so now we've got to see the refresh card, right? We've got to see
You would
the old.
think so.
Yeah, and there's the old whipcord. That's no surprise there.
Ooh, they too.
Oh, that's not the refresh card. Actually, I guess he only. Oh no, he shot 2 of his rockets. Oh, they're out of range. His rockets won't be in range for the refresh card, so that's why he's not doing that. Because
That would be silly.
yeah, Okay, so he is making him suffer. But when we look at that card, where's it gone? It can only be... Yeah, it can't actually be an operative. So it can only be a trooper, special forces, whatever. There's basically not an operative.
Yeah.
So he can't actually make him put anything back into the bag, but he can make him... He can
First
force
time
what
he-
he picks first.
Yeah. What do you pick? Either
Oh, I'd be
Commander
picking-
or Inferno?
Yeah, I'd probably go Commander. Because... Yeah, like you don't... I mean, Inferno can still do a chunk of damage. So I probably don't want Inferno, and we definitely don't want Trooper, so I'd probably go Commander, because Iden can't do, you know, a Shore Trooper's worth of damage.
Yeah. So these B2s look like they're going to be panicking.
Yeah, they will.
5 suppression?
That is a lot. See, but this is okay, though, because that card, if they... Assuming they don't, like, whatever
Die.
happens to them this turn, assuming they don't die this turn,
That free
that
recover
refresh
removes all of
card,
it.
yeah, will be really handy. I actually wonder. He bombarded. He didn't bombard last turn. He did bombard last turn.
Yes,
Was-
it did.
No, he ambushed last turn. He bombarded in 2.
Yeah. So it's turn 4.
Yeah, so I wonder why that super attack didn't move up a little more aggressively last turn. Either way, this is a scoring turn. Okay, so he's whipping. Yeah, he's whipping those B2s. So they're going to sit there and get shot by
Everything
every
else.
goddamn gun that Dan has this turn. Oh, he must have just gone with them. Okay, so he's rolled the suppression. They are active again.
Yuck.
But they can't move, so they're still going to get shot to shit, so...
Oh, so it looks like Boba is attacking them. That's what's happening.
Oh, that's why those tokens are moving. Okay. Why did he take the suppression off then?
Maybe potentially to see if he kills the whole squad first before he does it.
Okay.
Because there was a chance that Boba could have wiped that squad.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know. He still seems to have taken one of the suppression and the immobilized off them. So, don't know.
Hmm. Then do you maybe immobilize the Magnas and hope for a panic? Somehow?
I mean, that would make sense if he's changed his mind on that. That could make sense.
They are only on 1 suppression though. So you won't be able to get to 4.
But if he immobilizes them, then you can withdraw the shores.
And then shoot at them. Yep, that's true.
And then blow the crap out of them? Or is he mobilizing the pikes, maybe? He's definitely mobilizing something over here. Okay, here we go. This makes more sense now.
It's true. And if they panic, they don't count towards the objective.
That's true. I mean, the risk is that Boba is now sitting right there.
every in front of those pikes, in front of those B2s.
Dan plays so differently to me because I would be so nervous about my my red save little superhero that I'd be doing everything I can to keep him alive, and Dan's like, nope,
Yeah.
just plonk him down. Let's go.
And Adam is moving into melee with him? Huh?
Okay. Cool.
That seems silly to me. In
I
my
mean-
unprofessional opinion.
I mean, okay.
So what does that actually accomplish apart from the rest of Adam's army not being able to shoot Boba?
No, Decimus. Boba was not engaged. He withdrew last turn, and this turn he shot with his guns, and then he flew off. So, okay, so that means that Boba is engaged. Fine. Maybe Dan's is thinking that he's got. Well, Maybe Adam's just thinking he's got other things to shoot at, so maybe that's the logic here. I mean, that's definitely not untrue. He's got lots of targets to shoot at. It means the Boba can't gun next turn. He can just kick the crap out of that T series and then fly off.
So these T21s are slapping the Magna Guard.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, you might as well at this point. Your withdrawing's not going to help you. They're just going to charge. So yeah, slap. You're in range of the point, so.
Curtis, if he says Boba is invincible against the Pikes and the Magna Guards, they're the ones that are going to be. They're the ones that are going to kill Boba.
Yep, Curtis, you just shut up about Dan's miniatures. You start talking about Adam's miniatures, all right? You can say the Magna Guards are invincible. I can see Pete's point here. Removes bounty and plays wastes Boba for an easy turn to just tie him down and melee the rest of the game. I don't think it's going to be the rest of the game because I think Boba will kick that T series in the face.
It's true. But he still would have been able to do that move, but after the rest of his army shooting at him first.
Yeah, I think realistically, Boba turn 5 can kick that T series and fly off, and then probably a turn 6 blender maybe. Would be a guess.
Yeah, turn 6 for the blender on the double point round. Seems
it is kind of a mutual. Well, it's a mutual trade, isn't it? Like Boba can't shoot, but you can't shoot Boba. So, and if you've got other things to shoot at, that's okay. This is a double move from those B2s. They're getting. This is getting real aggressive here as well because that back point, that is going to be vulnerable. Like this is. I'm honestly starting to wonder if Dan has enough guns left. Like this is getting up close and personal. Boba's blender's gonna have to do some work, I think.
Indeed. So this was a T21 shot. It's a pretty good roll.
This will be the green ones. I'm not super sure what he's shooting at, but whatever it is, it's hurting. Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, no, it's the B1s. B2s. Sorry.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Thank goodness.
That's
fine.
Right.
There is actual damage going through there. If that was Pikes, I think Dan might have just flipped the table and walked away.
My white dice never roll like that. That sucks.
I mean, my B1 saves roll like that because I never have a bloody surge token on them, so that comes up pretty often.
Yep, and I'm guessing when you do have a surge, they never roll one.
Of course not. But you don't feel sad because it's B1s.
Yeah, they're meant to die.
So is this the Magnus? Something's being clicked on.
Ah, the versatile whip.
Oh, the whip. Is this what we're talking about, hey? This is cool.
So we're whipping something.
So whipping into thingos.
Inferno?
Yeah. Inferno.
Luckily, they have reliable one.
But it does slow them down. It pops an immobilize on them, so...
I think they need to take a damage for that to happen.
Oh, okay. Never mind it.
But it does take that double suppression.
Okay, 50-50. That's not bad. I mean, these guys might just be sitting here fighting out for at least another turn, I suspect. I wonder if that immobilized maybe means they... I know, because they didn't get it, but I wonder if the intent there was to stop them being able to walk in range of the point. I'm not super sure if that's... I feel like even a speed 1 would get them there, but I'm not super sure. It's hard to tell.
Yes.
Here we go. That'll answer it. Yeah, see, a speed 1, I don't think they would have made it, but a speed 2, they definitely can. So that would have been the intent there. So it was a good idea.
Indeed. So then, do you go for a move shoot into the yellow B2s?
I mean, yeah, probably, because if you kill that heavy weapon, that's going to be a hell of a difference to that firepower. They've only got 3 wounds left.
Yeah.
Those pikes are looking a bit scary, but you're not going to put a dent really into them. You can do real damage to those yellow B2s. So, oh, is he climbing over the building? Climbing onto the building. That's where this little Tatooine clutter car is. That only being light cover is pain. But he's got a suppression, so that'll be okay. Okay. Whoa, that's a nice shot.
It is.
That's very impressive.
So.
Something just died.
Pikes, by the looks of it. Because
I'll
the
ride the green ones.
danger sense kicked in.
Yep. That would make a lot of sense.
And then he used an aim for lethal from Delmico. Yeah.
Very nice. That was a nice shot.
That's very good, actually.
And that doesn't expose them to any risk. So realistically, Dan is probably giving up this point this turn. Like, you know, the T-Series versus Boba, Magnus versus Shores, got the Pike leader. So Adam's already up by the Pike leader and the yellow B2s before we even get started, and Dan's not going to add anything else to that point this turn. So,
No. I
if
think
anything,
potentially the Storms finish off the Pike squad.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
I think they've already
Well,
gone.
theoretically,
No,
yeah,
they haven't.
no, that's special
They're
forces.
special
Yeah,
forces.
makes it out.
So something rallied.
Is it the storms? No, oh, he's shooting at the storms.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the Pikes. Okay, there goes 2 storms.
2.
That's gonna hit that plan. And you're right. He can
Sorry.
potentially. I was saying Andrew was saying he can panic the Pikes. He can potentially panic them. He needs another one to do that, and even then, it's only gonna. He's still gonna win by the T-Series. There's no. Oh, there is 3 on the yellow droids as well, but they haven't gone yet, so they could clear that. So, and guys, the other problem that Dan's got here is that back point is currently contested by the blue B2s. So, the only one who could even fight for that is probably Iden.
But then Iden's going to be out there not doing what she wants to be doing.
I'm wondering if she can take a shot and climb the building,
Speed
and maybe
one
get into that bubble.
Yes, looks like Speed 1 should be able to get there.
That's probably got to happen. Yeah, and you're right, Andrew. They do come off before the scoring, so it's. I don't think the suppression game is necessarily going to do it. Like, you could probably get the green Pikes up to that critical mass of suppression, but that doesn't even matter because the yellow B2s are in their bubble as well.
Mm.
And those Pikes would be bloody close to a speed 1 move away. The red ones would be bloody close to a speed 2 move and shoot. So, I'm pretty sure that center point is gonna be Adams this round.
It's honestly not looking good for Dan.
This is the
Like
B2s shooting in water, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, that looks right. Oh, Dan, come on. I mean, I know it's only a little bit below average, but when you're already behind the 8 ball, like
it just hurts.
I don't think I've seen Dan roll a single above average save so far, but I've seen him roll a fair few below. So,
And on the opposite spectrum, Adam's been rolling freaking hot.
I mean, it's probably only been that one. It's probably only been that one save that was incredibly good. Like the rest is probably about right, but it's that one save was very potent. So
yeah.
So what are these little snipey boys gonna do? They could jump up on that building and shoot those green pikes. That'd be a thing. That'd be a range 2 shot, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it'd be close. It's probably worth it.
I mean, you can do it without coming out of the bubble, and you'd be out of line of sight of those B2s that are coming after you as well. So
yeah,
wonder if he's forgotten about the climb rules.
Unless we're shooting into the blue squad.
Shooting at something, but just the sniper.
Yeah, into the blue squad.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's further than it looks on the screen.
But yes, he definitely would have been able to speed one closer.
Yeah.
Climbing.
Looking at that distance from that, looking at that yellow bubble as a gauge, I can't imagine that wasn't a range 2 shot onto those green guys. But anyway, it is what it is.
Alas. Maybe he's got some superior plan that we can't see.
Look, I hope so, because if I was Dan, I'd be pretty tilted by this point. Probably not thinking too clearly. So,
Yeah.
But Dan is as cool as a cucumber. So we'll see how he goes.
Probably a move shoot into the T21s.
Yeah, that would make sense. He's certainly got a few options at this range. So,
Oh, the mortar. Sorry. Yeah.
The invincible mortar is dead.
Indeed. Invincible.
Okay, so Iden has got to go backwards. Oh, tell me he's not quick thinking shooting. He is. He's quick thinking shooting. Okay.
I'm guessing he's turning that into a crit. PS1.
And look, and I can see his logic because he feels like he's losing the damage race, which he certainly is, but he's also losing the points
race. Yeah.
So,
in the grand scheme of things, the points race is the bigger race that you want to be winning.
I mean, like we said though, it does often come down to that last turn. So Adam was up 2-1.
Yeah.
Adam will go up
4
to 1. So that means Dan needs 2 points outright, or 1 point ahead, and a bounty, and then win on points. That's
a tough stretch. It's a tough stretch.
Yeah.
And it looks like Adam is keeping the bounty target so far away.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where this bounty target is happening. Dan, I mean, Adam is probably being too cautious with his super attack at this particular point.
Considering he's running away.
Yeah, but there is snipers on this board, so it is a thing. They've called it. Yep, I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
I'm sad to say it, but I think it is fair.
All dunsies.
GG.
Okay, so congrats to Dan. Well done.
Well done, Dan.
I wish.
For
No, we're calling it. The whole chat agrees that Dan is actually the winner. Basically, we all agree Adam cheated. He cooked his dice somehow. He used those techno skills that he's got, and he cooked his dice, and therefore we're declaring Dan the winner.
Adam did host the game, right, as well.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
And he also pulled out the same map as well.
He's not in
Oh,
IT for
Halloween.
nothing, you know.
I'm not about beating, Daniel is the state champion. I got to do everything that I can to win.
Oh, you are a grand finalist for Invader, though, Adam, as well.
Yeah, a bit sorry about the boring game there, boys. It kind of heated up at that turn, but that was about it.
It wasn't boring.
It was fun for us. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had lots of fun with it.
Oh, nice one. What are the takeaways, Steve, mate? What's your words of wisdom?
It's funny. It didn't quite play out the way I thought it was going to play out. It was similar, but it wasn't so much your side of things. It was Dan's side of things. Like, Dan is a very aggressive player compared to what I was sort of expecting.
Yeah.
I love that, but I loved my highlight for me was when Dan put Boba in that little alcove. I was like, I called it a good 5 minutes ahead of time. I'm like, I bet Dan goes in there, and then he did it. I was so proud of him. I was like, yes. but yeah, beyond that, it was it was pretty. I mean, there was a bit of early damage.
B2s are
coming
strong.
in Dan, but yeah, B2 strong. They went through.
Strong,
So
yeah.
that was pretty decisive. Once they got there, it was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
Stuff
like
just
the
melted.
amount of chip damage they were taking away, and I'm like, well, Dan might pull this out, but then the Magna Guard getting in was
Yeah.
good. And basing Boba, like I learned that at CanCon. Just keep basing him, and he loses a little bit. I think of his arsenal, not being able to shoot every turn. So
Yeah, I mean, chat definitely loved that. They loved that T series wobbling into to touch Boba.
Let's do the objective together.
We
And
were
yeah, and that-
talking
that
about do that T series move in after the rest of your army shoots at Boba.
Look, I wasn't gonna leave him out just to get cooked. Like he's one dice away from getting killed. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's totally fair. And we kind of figured you had so many different things to shoot at that point anyway that Boba really
fine.
didn't. It didn't matter. You would focus the mortars down instead.
I just wanted to get rid of some activations, but yeah, Daniel I think he was in control from the first couple of turns, and then
Yep.
I think what got him was that shot on the pikes where they just were like, "Nah, we'll just save it all."
Oh,
that
man,
was so dirty.
That was
so dirty.
bullshit. We all watched that and said, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
I
Like that
think
was
that was probably the turning point. I think, like, I used 140 points, rolled 12 dice with a name token, and then killed a single pike. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I even moved out, so like a no cover shot. It was just,
Yeah. No, look,
Brutal.
Dan, that was a good move. Nobody's questioning that was a great move. You got really robbed on the dice on that one. Like nobody
Just got
watching that.
shafted.
Yeah.
I was
We were
like, I was like, there goes Green Squad. Like they're all gone.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a big brain play too. Like I actually quite liked that. When you move the order from Boba, because I thought you might just keep an order on Boba just to keep him safe, kind of thing. But obviously, yeah, using that card's ability to pop it onto those shores and get you the mortar for the fire support, like that was a big brain play. It just dice are a thing. So it should have been good. And then obviously once those Magnas made base, it was like, well, shit, this is the problem. So yeah, it did definitely go downhill pretty rapidly from that point onwards.
In game as well, I just muted myself because my wife just came in, and I've rolled the 5, and I've just been like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Dan. That is complete." And he didn't hear any of my apology.
He's just thinking,
"Oh my gosh."
"Oh,
He's just
God."
like, Adam's been stone cold. He's not saying a word.
Wow. Yep. That was pretty cool. And I wonder what those green pikes were doing on the other side of this big ass whatever the hell this thing is.
Rocket ship.
Wrecked ship.
I was really worried Boba was going that way, and I wanted some sort of deterrent on that side. But then they didn't get, like, with these buildings and stuff. It's a really bad map. Look, Daniel got a really bad map here. He really needed a bit more open, but being able to move him really close, that was nice too.
Yeah. I kind of thought they might swing out wide, and high, and sort of just poke over that little low wall there. But obviously they just went right up the guts, and that worked out beautifully. So
Yeah. I just, I assumed I'd roll on, I'd almost natty out, and I'd be fine. I was pretty pissed I lost that unit, that one guy actually. Like,
yeah, I can understand why you'd be pissed off about losing that one guy to a 10 dice aimed short squad.
Man, it is.
12 dice, Steve.
12 dice.
Yeah, get all right.
Oh shit!
No, but
yeah,
seriously,
of course.
Daniel, I'm sorry about that. That was bullshit. What about the blue B2s coming in on the flank? How do we all have that?
That was pretty cool.
It was good. It would have been hard for those two snipers to stop that.
Yeah, and look,
Yeah.
my idea here was I thought Iden might run over there to get the point, and then I'm taking her out of the fight as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I kind of thought. I thought Dan might do that. I think he might shoot and then retreat with Iden to sneak her into that point and maintain that. But I'm guessing by that stage he was pretty keen to just GG, so it probably didn't matter. But I was thinking about that one. I said, my one question for you, Adam, in turn 1, right? I was thinking you might actually, because Dan had put his snipers, they were both visible. If your super attack had gone down somewhere, like on the corner of this building. So did you spot that? Did you not want to bombard him? Or
no. If the B2s could have done a follow-up shot, absolutely. Like, that's what I was trying to go for after round 1. Could I get the range tree was just along this barricade, so I actually couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I did want to that was the plan, bombard and then B2 follow-up just to make sure the unit's dead. But getting that follow-up wasn't, so I was like, I'll try and suppress or kill special forces, but of course he's got Inspire in his list, so Dan's list being such a good rounded list, he's got those little fixes to those problems, so I was like, okay, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. At the end of the day, the firepower you had was enough anyway, but you got a nice line of sight blocker there. You could obviously hug that pretty well. I thought you might have been going for the whole, line up behind the wall and then sort of jump into just the edge of that little yellow bubble, and that way you can lob range 3 down onto Dan and contest the point, and you kind of ended up doing something similar. Well, the maroon ones did that. The yellow ones came back around the other side to do the cheeky corner shoot, and the blue ones, they just went balls deep into the Dan's territory there, and I'll just take your point as well, because why the hell not? Everything else is going your way, so...
It was a bit half down there too, because like internally, what do I do with Boba? Who do I immobilize? Like I think you chose correct, Dan, but just blue was able to get in.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of running out of options at that particular point as well, because I mean, like I said, those melees were big, and that Shore Trooper really set the tone, because that put him miles behind on the damage race, and then from there it's like, what do you kind of do? You're kind of fighting uphill from that point onwards. So
yeah,
it's funny how quickly it can turn on a dime there. But it's good to see the B2s in action like that. Except that is a lot of beef on the table. I mean, hell, you never even used your repair boy. So
I used them twice on yellow. They got done twice on yellow. The repairs.
Oh, okay.
Mad.
I guess they were further up. Yeah, we didn't spot
catch
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got done twice. The beef with the B2s and the pikes is very nice.
Yeah. No, and those little rocketies. I mean, you never even got to use the refresh rocky, because I was waiting for the old refresh rocket to come out, but you didn't even need it. That's how one-sided the damage was once they got to that critical range. So
yeah.
I mean, hell, you never even fired a range 2 shot, did you, with the B2s?
No, I didn't get the full range 2 shot. My favorite shot in the whole game. No, I didn't.
Crazy, isn't it? It's kind of wild, yeah. And there's so much stuff that's dead. The mortars, to be fair, Dan, the mortars died because of Curtis, because he was in chat saying that the mortars are invulnerable. They cannot actually be
not just
killed.
invulnerable, invincible.
Invincible. So he put the kiss of death onto those mortars for you, and then they immediately melted, like within 5 minutes of that comment. So that's his fault.
Yeah, my mortars don't have that keyword, unfortunately.
Oh dear. But yeah, good game, guys.
Thank you.
Good game.
There we go. CanCon winner, C4.
C4 on top. C4 1, 2, 3, mate. Very good.
Brilliant stuff.
What really won today was friendship.
Did it though?
I think I'm gonna have to go grab some whirlpools after this.
Stone Cold Adam there. I don't know if friendship was actually the winner.
No.
And murder your things and go silent.
Oh,
Just let you
God.
contemplate, your failures.
I wasn't actually muted, Dan. I still want to say anything, mate. Like, nah, mate. Friendship always wins. Hins between me and Dan. We've played each other enough. Was it quick enough? That was what I was really worried about. Like how we were probably taking a little bit too long.
Well, definitely under the time.
Oh, around 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I thought your pace was pretty
I
good,
don't
guys.
think so. Yeah, like there wasn't really a time where either of you were just doing nothing. Like
We did have to
there was
pause a couple of times to check some rules.
yeah, we had some rule checks. We're like, Lachlan, what is how we do this? It's very telling about us that we don't know the rules.
There was a few times where there was like hands free, waving around, and we are like, "What's going on?"
Oh,
But
look,
yeah,
there was a bit of a mean call to Daniel, like being such a high level match. Boba's jump over this height 3 build, he was just clipping. And
yeah.
I'm like, clipping, mate. I was like, oh my
yeah. we saw it. We saw it. We were talking
Yeah.
about it. We're like,
Yeah.
because Dan's tool was definitely going through the corner of that building. But we
And then he
also
had to
wanted-
reduce his speed up going through the crates as well. Ugh.
it was so mean. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Daniel. So yeah, friendship won. Like any other game we'd play, wouldn't even picked it up. Wouldn't even care. This one, nah, mate, rules. Yeah.
They're rules for a reason.
Nah.
Well, I said if Dan wanted to get you back, he could have called you on putting your foot on that the Magnigar's foot on that orange bonnet there, because we weren't sure if if that was defined as obstacle terrain, you couldn't put your foot on it. So
Yeah, that's why we moved a little bit and was like, I'll move again. Yeah, it's
we were pretty sure you could go sideways and avoid the bonnet and still make it, but whatever.
No, I'm not sure. Just that token, it was just the perfect storm.
No, I was saying go to the right hand side of it, go to the box side of it,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you could have made it. But
Yeah, I would have made him with the bomb threat. Yeah, I don't know them in the world.
I said we weren't playing for sheep stations at that point, and obviously Penguin had no idea what the hell that meant because he's under 40. So, so then we had a little divergence, and
What does that mean, Steve? What does that mean? What does that saying mean?
There's stations and there's sheep there, and you win,
Ah.
and you get sheep.
apparently sheep stations are a prize that you actually want as well. That is supposed to be a desirable outcome for you to win a sheep station.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you
Oh,
get
really?
wool for the winter.
Lamb.
You get lamb, and you get a
Mutton,
companion if you want to cuddle.
Alright,
something to keep you warm at night. Yeah.
Nick, mate, I know, mate. All right, you can have a companion as a sheep. That's fine with me. You know? It's all right.
It's the closest thing you can get to a Wookiee.
Yeah.
Very good. All right,
Indeed.
well,
Alrighty. Good
Alright.
game.
Thanks for hosting us, guys.
Thanks for streaming and
No,
Okay.
no worries.
Interesting.
Anytime.
And
excellent game.
we hope everybody enjoyed watching it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This is not my channel.
Yeah.
Steve,
but
I for it. Straight in.
I'm told that's a thing you're supposed to say.
I don't even say that at the end of my streams.
Well,
I
that's why I
say,
haven't got enough subs.
like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's a thing, I think. And
Awesome, guys.
yeah.
We'll see everyone at CoastCon. Looking forward to it. I'm see it all over the chat.
CoastCon 2023.
CoastCon.
Keep your eyes out.
We don't have a date for that one yet, do we?
Don't-
Mate, haven't even got a venue, mate. What are you talking about?
That's what you're going to say.
Get on it, Adam. You got one job.
No worries, mate. All right, guys. See you later.
All right,
Alrighty.
catches.
GG.
Here-
Bye. All right, thanks for having me, Penguin. I'll
worries.
catch you next time.
Thanks for co-casting.
Bye, mate.
All right, bye. And that's it. Thanks for joining in, everyone. It was a nice, quick game. Yeah, do all the normal YouTube things like subscribe, hit the bell notification for when I do actually stream other Invader games or other riff-raff that I decide to do. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting. And yeah. Hope you all have a great Friday tomorrow. Back at work for most of us. And then hope you all have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye.